Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and happy birthday to World of Tanks. Today marks 14 years since the game entered full release on the European and the NA server, and Wargaming have a whole host of festivities to celebrate World of Tanks turning 14. In today's video, I'm going to let you know everything that there is coming with regards to the World of Tanks 14th birthday, and feature some gameplay of a vehicle, a tier 5 premium that you're going to be able to pick up by collecting cupcakes. Yeah, I hope you're ready to eat as many as you possibly can. So firstly, 4 times experience, discounts on all of the vehicles. I must mention, however, that the 15% discount on tier 8 to tier 10 tanks, excluding the Czech light tanks and the British double barrel heavies, it's nice, but considering Wargaming just stole the top of the tree from us, I would have liked this discount to be a one-off special of like minus 30%. But 50% off consumables, 50% off equipment, so make sure you stock up before the discount ends. And let me clarify, the discount ends on the 15th of April. So please, 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 please save yourself millions of credits. Spend every single credit you have on pre-purchasing premium consumables and also equipment at 50% off, because you can always sell them after the event ends. Make sure you don't sell them until the sale ends for the same price that you purchased them. There's also an opportunity to get all of the Tech Tree premium tanks, or the premium tanks that are available all the time for gold in-game for a 15% discount, which can be quite nice. So to be able to get some really cool rewards like 3 days of premium consumables, a Forged in Fire, 3D styles, some demount kits, some 5 times experience, but also, this is the one, the ARMT, a tier 5 American premium medium tank, which I've got gameplay coming up on in a second. You're going to have to collect yourself cupcakes. Now, to be able to get cupcakes, you're going to have to do missions inside the game, which looks to be 14,000 damage in any number of battles, so get out those high tier tanks. And the other one is deal damage to 70 enemy vehicles in any number of battles that you can get twice a day. So it looks like you can get 10 cupcakes a day from that. Looks like you get an additional 10 cupcakes if you grind your 14,000 damage. So that's 20 cupcakes, and then you can get a one-off 20 additional cupcake, but that is once per account. And it also gives you an A7E3, which is a tier 3 British light tank. It's not a very good one, but you know what? Free is free. And if you already have this vehicle, you're going to get credits as compensation. So that means that if you want to get all the rewards, which is 140 cupcakes, that means you're going to have to play for 6 days out of the 11 that this is running. However, if you find that playing every single day is going to be a little bit tricky for you and you'd rather just watch me play World of Tanks instead, then you can get yourself an additional 30 cupcakes for watching my streams on the 11th, the 14th, the 16th, and the 18th, as well as a whole host of other premium consumable goodies, decals, boosters, and even 2D style. Wargaming also has birthday deals running, and I just went and checked my premium store, and I got the availability of a Borask in many different flavors of expense. I got myself an offer for a Type 59, again in many different flavors of expense, and also a Nemesis deal. That's a pretty rare vehicle. So let me just give my overall opinion. Borask is amazing, but a fairly complicated vehicle to play, but it's one of the best premium mediums that you can get your hands on. This is a clear winner inside the store. The Nemesis, it's okay. It's just a little bit clunky, and it's kind of this pseudo medium that pretends to be a heavy, but doesn't really have the perfect durability or hit points. Don't really recommend it. But still, it's a hard-hitting British medium if you want to play something a little different. Type 59, this is still a banger, although preferential matchmaking doesn't mean so much now, but still, Type 59 rocks inside the game. So the big question is, the ARMT, this is the best thing that's really on offer that you can get for free by collecting cupcakes from this anniversary event. Is it any good? Well, let's find out. Starring our hero today, Bot Kill You. Well, yeah, I have to admit, I've been killed by a few bots over the years inside World of Tanks. But let's see if Bot Kill You is actually going to be able to show us what the ARMT is all about. So what are the key highlights of this vehicle? Well, the gun depression is the key highlight. Because of this very freaky design on the turret, where the gun kind of just goes between the gun shield at the front, you can actually get 15 degrees of gun depression on this tank. And as this tank does feel a bit more like an anti-aircraft device, you can actually get 40 degrees of gun elevation, sorry, 60 degrees of gun elevation, so you can pretty much reach to the sky and shoot anything that will be above you. So it's definitely one of the most flexible guns inside the game, although the PZSFL, aka the Death Toaster at tier 5, is probably wants to have words with me if I say that. So on top of this, the vehicle also has an autoloader. So you can fire one, reload with a 2.5 second intra-clip reload, which isn't particularly wonderful considering that the alpha damage of the gun is 115. But that's still not bad. When you think about it, it's similar to the tier 6 Skoda, right? That thing I believe hits for 110, but it is hitting more like every second, which is way more brutal than hitting for 2.5 seconds intra-clip reload. But to have this kind of flexible turret on this tank while also still having the capabilities of an autoloader makes this thing a real funky medium. My biggest problem with this tank is that if you want to work a ridgeline, let's imagine you're using your full gun. Let's imagine that you're using your full gun depression. You've got your gun pointing all the way down. Then they can just shoot you here and here, and you end up having like quite a big forehead when your gun is pointing all the way down, which can get really awkward on the tank. Because, you just don't really have any armor at all on those cheeks. The armor on this tank, on the turret, is 76, and it's flat. Good luck trying to bounce anything with that, right? It's definitely not going to work out for you. And also, whenever you play a tier 5 medium, you end up playing against things like that, a Panzer 5.4, and that thing just makes this look ridiculous. By far the biggest downside to this tank is that because of that long intra-clip reload, it doesn't feel like it bursts out damage. And when you add to that it has a fairly substantial... substantial? Did I just combine two words? Substantial reload of 19 seconds. And this thing can feel fairly awkward to get the damage out in a high pressure situation. Nevertheless, this thing, it's tier 5. It's premium. It's going to be able to, I believe, make you some extra credits. Unless it's a reward vehicle. I should just quickly check that. Is this a reward vehicle or it's a premium? It's telling me it's a premium, so I think it should probably make you credits, although let's be honest, the tier 5 premiums don't really make you too much. We can take a look in the post-game stats from BotKillU and see if they made fat credits this game, although they are firing fat loads of gold rounds right now. But man, those gold rounds, 177mm of pen. That is not a bad gun. It kind of feels like this would be a fairly good gun for a tier 6 vehicle. Kind of having the tier 6 Sherman gun down at this tier. Although, I believe you can use that on the M4 Sherman as well. But who's not going to use the derp on the M4 Sherman, am I right? So tier 5 inside World of Tanks, it's more relevant than it used to be now that you can farm battle pass points with your tier 5 tanks. Do I think this is like a really cool reward compared to the kind of things that Wargaming have done for us in the past, like creating that awesome T30 skin? And I think I also saw that awesome T30 skin with the vehicle about to be buffed next week, especially the 120mm gun on the T30 going to be buffed next week. And you can get yourself that 10-year anniversary skin, I believe, in the store. Although, whether you want to pay for a skin on a tech tree tank, guess that's down to you and whether you are the biggest T30 fan out there. Alright, so unfortunately for BotKillU, they've been using this position and it hasn't really provided too much. But oh, there we go. Shut your mouth, QuickyBabs. I only put in one shot every for the first 4.5 minutes of this game, but at least I managed to get my second in there. And BotKillU is going to decide, yeah, this position's just not working out. It can be quite nice, this position, if they have stupid tank destroyers that get spotted there. But realistically, I think they're just going to go round there and then go into this position and be fairly awkward. So BotKillU is now going to go into the position which I prefer. I definitely prefer. I prefer using this position. And when you're using vents and coated optics and a premium consumable on this vehicle, your view range is not half bad. This vehicle's view range is actually 370 base, so even if you don't use a premium consumable, if you use coated optics and vents, you're still going to have a very decent view range. And look at that, in 5 seconds this vehicle was able to do 345 damage. That is substantial, really substantial damage against... How many times have I said that word in this replay? It is substantial damage, against any vehicle that this tank is going to meet. So I have to admit, an absolute freak of a vehicle. I believe this thing went into the loot boxes, I think a couple of years ago, probably in December 2023. So quite nice that Wargaming giving it away for all of the people out there who didn't collect it a couple of years ago. I'm sure we'll end up seeing a lot of these tanks in the matchmaking, depending on how many tokens it's going to cost and how many days it will take people to be able to collect them. But there will be people who do their daily missions every day. And if people do their daily missions every day, they will end up being what I'm saying is all collecting this vehicle on the same day, and that will end up with them all playing it in the matchmaker. So if any of you have your favorite tier 5 seal clubbers, like a Panzer 5.4, oh yeah, might be a good day to take your Panzer 5.4s out to try and to pad up a little bit. So the ARMT, it's just one of these kind of tanks that needs a long-winded game because of that horrible damage per minute, 862 at tier 5, truly horrendous damage per minute. But when you do have one of those long games, it still feels like it's fairly consistent. BotKillU's elected to use an aiming device on this vehicle, and considering the vehicle has pretty poor base accuracy of 0.42, I don't think that's a bad idea. Other people might prefer to use a rotation device on this vehicle, but considering that the intraclip reload is fairly long and the bloom after firing, it's not bad. It's only 3, which is a pretty good multiplier for the bloom after firing on a tank. Then you probably can get away without the rotation device on this vehicle. Just depends if you want to be more dynamic or having opportunistic sniping shots like BotKillU has managed in this game. So BotKillU finally decides to reload. Probably the correct thing to do there, didn't know whether the M10 or anyone was going to come after them. And they seem to be a little bit undecided. Not sure whether they should go to the back of the map or whether they should try and hold the mid-ridge. Considering they have 2 artillery, I really think they need to continue to extend the view range for their team, but also be a little bit careful with not managing to get caught by multiple opponents. But remember, again, because this vehicle has such poor damage per minute, it can be tricky to stop your opponents from overwhelming you. Now, 345 damage is not bad, or it is when it misses that first shot. That's, I guess, where the rotation device does work out well on this vehicle. But then again, you know, a rotation device is only 10% dispersion, whereas this is going to be doing 5% to your accuracy, which is arguably way, way, way better. And I think you will end up sniping in this vehicle quite a lot, but definitely would recommend the vents and the coated on this vehicle. You do need to make use of the tank's view range, and it is one of those kind of tanks that ends up in bushes or sniping in cheeky positions. And as I said, with the 15 degrees of gun depression, this thing can get in very sneaky positions. So, a vehicle which I featured on the channel a couple of days ago, the M10 RBFM, was unable to dethrone our hero of the day, BotKillU. And that he's going to have to hope that a lot of bots on the enemy team, or they play like bots. Although, look at this. There seems to be a raid boss on the enemy team. There's somebody playing a Leffe who's called Witch King of Angmar, I guess. Lord of the Rings reference, right? Yeah, I don't really want the Witch King of Angmar flying above me, raining shells down on me like the Leffe does. The Leffe's very relentless with its rate of fire, right? So, BotKillU gets a good shot there into the Leopard. If you're wondering why he's not aiming the center there, it's because there's a bit of a bug behind some buildings. I think it's buildings that have destructible cover. And it means that you can't actually tell where the edge of the building is. And so BotKillU, actually a knowledgeable player, knowing where the wargaming bug was and adjusting for that and not showing poor aim in that situation, where you would want to aim central mass, of course, if the Leopard was out in the open. So, unfortunately, there's no artillery support for BotKillU now. But here's an M4A1. And are they just going to sit here? I feel like they got to push, because otherwise the Leopard's going to shoot them in the top. But also, can they push if there's going to be an artillery? Remember that Leopard, if they're using the spray and pray gun, actually can't fire more than 400 meters, which will mean that BotKillU, if they fire, the Leopard fires, that is, they're probably going to be able to spot them. And the Leopard, unless they're using the sniping gun, won't be able to just dump damage at long range. So BotKillU hits their opposite number, the M4A1, and actually manages to spot them out, and the Stug 3 dies, leaving BotKillU now in a 1 versus 6 momentarily as they finish off the KV-1. But boy, was that a really nice shot by the Stug to be able to get rid of the M4A1, which allowed BotKillU to finish off the KV-1 even with a ricochet. Okay, so the Leopard reveals themselves, and it looks like the Leopard indeed is using the Lux gun. But that Leopard is bold. They're just driving straight. Oh, terrible RNG. Oh, no. But BotKillU stays on target, ignores the Leopard, goes after the T1 Heavy, and I like that play, because that T1 Heavy, with those gold rounds and that voracious damage per minute, would have definitely caught them while they were reloading. So BotKillU showing some great awareness there, holds the fire against the Leopard, especially with that bad RNG, and finishes off the T1 Heavy. And now that allows BotKillU some time to be able to recover, shoots the Leopard once. Will they be able to get the second? Oh, no, auto-aim, really. Unfortunately, the shell whiffs, And this Leopard is getting away with absolute murder. So does Bot Kill You reload now? They've reduced their 1 versus 6 to a 1 versus 4. The IKV seems to be flanking. Surely Bot Kill You has to commit. They're going to auto-aim, come around the corner. That's a good use of auto-aim there to have the shot on the target very quickly. And they tank 51 damage from the Leopard, now meaning that even a glancing splash from the enemy team will be able to finish them off. And which King of Angmar is coming in hot in their left A here. And remember, that thing is very deadly in close quarters combat. But Bot Kill You surely has to go after this IKV. Goes forwards, spots, puts one shot, misses the IKV, but hits the left A. The left A, the actual scum, pushes the IKV round the corner, and now that means that Bot Kill You has another respite to be able to recover. And which King of Angmar, what was that? Pushing your IKV round the corner, and it doesn't even look like they're going to be able to traverse, which allows Bot Kill You to say, what was it? No man can kill me. Well, Bot Kill You is no man. He's a bot. So finishes off the Witch King of Angmar. And now, with 6 kills to the name and 2,500 damage under their belt, this is looking like a spicy game of World of Tanks. But they're going to have to deal with 5 on the enemy team. Where that self-propelled gun could be and where they are usually two very different things, right? Or at least where you think they could be, right? So Bot Kill You has about a minute now, exactly a minute actually, to get towards the cap circle to see if they can manage to find out where the... Well, just to put some pressure. Because usually in these situations, the artillery aren't exactly going to just drive out in front of you. You're not going to be able to find them. The artilleries are usually... If I was an arty right now, I'd be going all the way along here and going and trying to pressure the cap circle. Or would I? If I go into the cap circle, does that mean that I'm just going to get caught out? Possibly. Maybe I'll be trying to get an ambush shot. Maybe I'll be waiting in some kind of bush, hoping that the ARMT is going to go out into the open. Man, if I was an arty, I'd probably be sitting in a bush like right here. That's where I think the ultimate position could be for an arty right now, waiting for the AMRT to go in towards the cap circle. So Bot Kill You only has 12 seconds now to get into the cap, to have that 1 minute and 40 seconds to be able to fully cap. But they actually turn right. They're not going to cap. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I think that was a big misplay. I think Bot Kill You should have gone into the cap circle there to create a win condition. It's always very important in your end game situations to create win conditions. And now Bot Kill You is going into the cap circle. Mate, you don't have time to cap. Now the artillery knows where you are. Surely the artillery is going to run away and hide. I don't like this play at all. Maybe they're just hoping that the enemy artillery sucks and they're going to come and try and defend the cap circle anyway, and they can't count. Now they leave the cap circle. Yeah, horrendous play there. But luckily for them, the Su-122A is actually caught out in a miracle. And look, I have to critique the end of the play here. It was poor. Should have gone straight into the cap circle. And if you aren't going into the cap circle, never go into the cap circle to tell the artillery where you are. Nevertheless, I'm nitpicking on an incredible game of World of Tanks where Bot Kill You shows us all the strengths of the ARMT outside of the gun depression this tank has, and showcase some fantastic game sense, close quarters combat play, and clutch shots. Fantastic game for... It's not an incredible tank, but it's a decent tank. The ARMT is a decent tank at that. With regards to its win ratio difference, it's okay. It's right in the middle of the pack. It's not an incredible tank, but it's not a terrible tank. And so when you can be able to get this thing for free, you know, gift horse, you don't look it in the mouth. But as Bot Kill You shows, capable of some amazing games. This was the one that everybody wants, the Kolobanov's medal for standing alone against at least 5, in this case 6, a Pascucci's medal for finishing off those 2 artillery. And as we can see, if we take away the bonus for reserves, this does look like it's a premium tank. As Bot Kill You, even after resupplying a lot of gold and a premium consumable, makes 53,000 credits profit. With an incredible spicy 1,731 base experience, this was a monster game. So Bot Kill You, thank you so much for uploading your replay on what-record.com for the community to enjoy, and showing us all exactly what we have to look forward to for the 14th anniversary of World of Tanks. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And congratulations to all of you for putting up with World of Tanks and putting up for Uncle QuickyBaby for like 14 years as well, right? Although, to be fair, pretty much now marks 13 years of making YouTube videos. So at least you got the first year off me, right? Anyway, let me know what you think about the ARMT and all of the Wargaming 14-year release day anniversary rewards in the comments down below. And again, if you're watching this video as it's released on Friday, then there will be cupcake rewards today starting at 4 o'clock UK time. That's 3 o'clock UTC. And then there will be more on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So come get yourself some cupcakes, spend them on cool rewards in game, or just get yourself the ARMT quicker. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.